Most triathletes slow down massively on the run leg during a 70.3. But the thing is, it's not always fitness. It's often fueling. In this video, I'll show you how to build the perfect strategy so that it doesn't happen to you. And if you're new here, then hey, I'm James. I'm a registered sports nutritionist. I work with amateur and pro triathletes to take the guesswork out of nutrition so that they can train better, recover faster, and race to their full potential. Today, we're dialing in your 70.3 run fueling strategy. Because here's the truth. It doesn't matter how fit you are. If you mess up your fueling, the back half of that half marathon is going to feel like total. But when you get it right, you finish strong, you hold your pace, and you get the kind of results that make those early mornings and sweaty brick sessions worth it. I've worked with a lot of triathletes who could crush training, but come race day, they'd fade badly on the run. And I'm not talking slightly slower splits. I'm talking full zombie mode shuffle, which feels like an absolute sufferfest. The worst part is they thought it was just normal, that it was a pacing problem or that they weren't as fit as they hoped. But often it's not fitness, it's fueling. You're asking your body to go long, and to do that, you need to give it the right fuel. And to do that, you need a plan that actually works for you. And the change when you get fueling right is absolutely monumental. That final 5K looks completely different. You don't survive, you thrive, or some sort of uplifting cliche like that. But real talk, it matters. So let's get into how to do that. There are different options for fueling your run, and all of these can work. But each come with trade-offs, and you need to practice whichever one you choose. The simplest approach is to use on-course nutrition for everything. So you rely on the aid stations for both fluids and carbs, so typically a mix of hydration drinks, gels, and whatever else they put on there. The pros here are that there is no need to carry anything. So it's less weight, it's less thinking about those things during transition. The cons are that you have to rely on them having all of the nutrition you want and make sure that they haven't run out. And you have to have practiced it and tolerate the nutrition, so you are limited to what's available. This also means a bit of research in advance, looking through the race day guide and thinking about how exactly you're going to hit your carbs, your sodium and your fluid amounts, when you're going to take them. So there is a bit more work required here, but it is a viable option for you and it might be the perfect choice. Now, this is the hybrid model and probably the most common one that I see. You might carry your own gels but use aid stations for hydration, or carry fluid with carbs and then use the on-course water to top up or cool down. The big pro here is the balance of the approaches, in that you get the control without carrying everything. The con is that you are still reliant on at least one on-course product, which still means you have to plan some of this out like in the previous option. But it can be a really nice balance and lead to you being very happy after your run. Last up is the full control method. You do it all. You manage the fluids, the carbs, and the sodium. The main pro here is total reliability. You know what you're using and there's no guesswork at all. The downside here is that you have to carry everything. And on a hot day or a hilly course, or even if you're just absolutely knackered, that's a cost you'll know about, and it can really add extra stress on top of everything else. And importantly, for this to work, you need a rock solid hydration and carb plan, where you know exactly how much of each thing you're consuming. This was actually my approach in my most recent 70.3, and perhaps that tells you about what I prefer. In my last race, I carried a soft flask with 500 ml and a Morton 160 drink mix in it. That got me through the first 50 minutes of the run, and I didn't take anything else during that period, apart from pouring water over my head at every aid station. After I'd finished the flask, I moved on to gels, which I carried myself. It was simple, easy, and there were no surprises. I liked not needing to worry about the aid stations when I'd get fluid or a gel, and for me, it was just a no-brainer. Plus, I didn't like the gels that they offered, and that personal preference should come into it as well. Now, before we move on, a quick shout out to say, if you want help with building the perfect race day plan, including what I've been through so far, check out the Hub, which is my nutrition membership for triathletes. As part of your membership, I'll help you build a race plan that is so damn good for you, you'll feel like a pro turning up with everything mapped out, completely confident in your race day nutrition and ready to smash it out of the park. Link is in the description and comment section of this video. So here's the blunt truth. It doesn't matter which strategy you pick if you don't practice it. Your nutrition plan needs as much effort as your training plan. Because I've had clients go into a 70.3 with a fueling plan that looked great on paper, but once they actually tested it during a long run or a brick, it completely fell apart. Sometimes it's the texture, sometimes it's the pacing of your intake, sometimes it's just the sheer amount of fluid that they thought they could drink until they couldn't. You do not want race day to be your first full dress rehearsal. Instead, try this. Pick a few key long sessions in your training block, wear your race kit, intervals at race pace, execute an exact fueling plan, then adjust based on how it actually feels. You'll learn more in one of those sessions than anything else, and it might just save your race day. And a couple more bonus quickfire tips for you. Apparently, I just did my steps for the day. Don't wait until you're hungry. It's too late. Don't wait until you're thirsty. It's also too late. Minimize faff. Think about how realistic it really is for you to open multiple packets or eat little jelly babies or whatever else you want to do to fuel your run. Fueling the 70.3 run properly can be the difference between a strong finish and getting to the end of the race feeling like you are the slowest mofo out there and everyone's got some secret sauce that you're missing out on. There are multiple strategies that work, but only if you test them ahead of time. You've already put in the hours of training. Now don't let poor planning sabotage your result. And if you want more of a walkthrough building your whole race day nutrition plan, including the bike and pre-race fueling, check out my full 70.3 nutrition guide by watching this video here.